but been an integral part of this collaboration. Why a need for a local collaboration? Very important. Why we started this campaign? Need of the hour, masters of management. There are lots of organizations. When we started this, they were working on rescues, education awareness. They used to get a single call. 3 people used to go over without knowing how much each other. Lot of time wastage, lot of wastage of fuel. Again, team fighting starts. I got a call going to you. So to stop that, there had to be something which is uniform, where there is equality and respect for all. So need of the hour, bridging the gap again, lack of communication, had to be restored, had to be okay, knowledge sharing. Now, animal welfare and rights is such a diverse field. There are so many people working, but we have our expertise in different areas. So it's always better that like-minded people share a common platform, common goals, and work on them accordingly. Improving outreach. Will you all agree that the more the numbers, the more outreach we can do? Simple, very simple. Okay, this outreach in a way is more for youth, more for students, more for others. All possibilities. Educational awareness, rescue, treatment, rehabilitation, everything. Time management. Again the same problem. Reaching to more animals. Collective force. Today my personal experience is I used to write letters on any duty happening in the department is concerned. Now when we do that as a group, it makes a hell lot of a difference. They'll straight away give you appointments, they'll fix up time, yes you can come, any group of individuals can come to me. So initially one person speaking and a group of 10 experts from different organizations make a very big difference. Assume a letter coming to you from 10 organizations on a particular topic. You will certainly have to take note of that letter and reply accordingly. If suppose one letter comes, okay, we reply, let it go, things will be at ease. That is one big power which we try to get from this. Secondly, there are a lot of people who would like to criticize you. Sometimes you don't want rescue, there are certain protocols. Like, you do have some protocols in snake rescues. It is snakes in an open area, suppose it's in a garden, or anywhere outside the house, in a nala, you generally do not go unless there is a public place. So in that case, you say, this is a poor engine, they don't work, they don't rescue, they don't come on calls. Since it's a free service, people take it for granted. That way you can explain, one person can advocate, one person can do the rescue. Both can be divided. Similarly, now we are managing a helpline wherein we are doing only rescues for birds and reptiles. But other than that, we do get calls for cows, so we divert that calls. Because we know now, we have members who are doing cow rescues also. We have members who do it in the night, so that way everything is managed. Earlier it was we were not able to do in the night, but someone who is also working in the same hospital, so we divided the work in. Suppose we are working from 9 to 9, they start by 9 to 9. That way. Work can be divided and it's easy. It also saves cost. Reducing isolation and sharing HR. Not many people may be keen to share HR, but it's very important, like media contacts. Suppose I have good contacts, I should always share it with my colleagues, all people who are in the company. Reason is, there are big NGOs, small NGOs, small organizations, big organizations. The main idea behind the local federation is also big organizations. It is happening in Jaipur. Big organizations are supporting small organizations. So that way, small organizations who are at developing stage develop at a faster pace with the required expertise, with the required opinions of like-minded people. Okay, now again this is related. Individual organization development. I am here, I am working for the last 8 years. Now suppose there is a new person who comes up and sits with us, who knows, sees what we do, how we do it. So certainly the idea of classic things will be faster and individual organization development will be better. Do you have anybody has felt that within our community there is a in a particular city. There's a lack of trust among people. Anybody has felt that?
Yes.
Okay, one person. But I have felt it all the time. There's lack of trust. You can't bank on others. Suppose, maybe on rescues, maybe on communist programs, anything, you can't bank. There's a lack of trust. Trust has to be the foundation for this to be comfortable. And animal interest first. When you develop that trust, it's not that you start a federation like that. You have to know each other personally, go out, spend time together. It's just like a new family. And since all the people in the federation have their own organization, so there's always a time constraint. So it is just a good blend you have to make with all the people to start a federation. Now I would ending on these, why a federation? Any questions? Anybody interested to start a federation? This is a local federation headed by organization, the people from organization.
So would help, I mean, you are helped by your Jaipur federation.
Yeah.
So you are helped by FIAPO.
Yeah. It's a FIAPO's initiative and supported by FIAPO all throughout.
So you let us know.
Sorry, I forgot to mention FIAPO.
No, I came on the plate, so I thought I missed
FIAPO has been a big support to inculcate and develop everything. This is just the idea how it started, why it should have started. Now, what I will give you a brief about how it eventually got shape. This is why we wanted to start it for starters.
So it's almost like cooperative movement, maybe in small players together.
Yeah, small, big, all players actually working for the cause.
Yeah.
For them, animal interest has to be first no matter what. No personal.
Let's have an RSU association and then you have a federation in the same area of operation.
There are certain things which brought out elaborate the last brother.
Hi, everybody. If I speak so quickly, just tend to slow down. Right, anyway, the idea of a local federation was essentially like what FIAPO is. FIAPO is a national federation, and the idea is that we should all come together. And I think Rohit has just fantastically listed out all the different advantages of working together. But I think intuitively, we all probably know that Saath Kaam Karne se it's much more powerful. You're less isolated, you can share resources, often most of us are actually 1 and 2 and women organizations. So to actually be able to kind of say, oh, can you help me with that, and can we do this together, you're not isolated, you can get burnt out, and it's a lot easier to get things done. With Jaipur, the main idea was to try and get all of these organizations together. We got together initially on a common issue. So in Jaipur, for example, as lots of cities, the issue of dog breeding is a big problem, and pet shops anyway. So what we did was we organized a meeting. We said, let's just all get together and try and just talk about this one issue. The first couple of meetings, it was all just getting to know each other in a general kind of a bit of ranting, safety government, which is all really good and healthy. That's not. It's important to get it out of your system. And then suddenly it all took this kind of this turn towards this is actually really working out. We can actually sit around the table every month and talk about issues that commonly concern us. And I think one of the biggest factors that led to that was this, I don't know the words, but we try to put them in practice, which is openness, trust, care, honesty. There is a lot of, in any city, there is a lot of kind of, oh, that organization is too slow to respond. Oh, that organization, they don't respond to rescue calls, or they do something else, or he said something else about that. And what we do is, yes, we know all of that, but let's try and, not bring that into the meeting when you come in. And that's one of the biggest reasons why JFAPO still is going. not a new idea. Collaboration is a very, very old idea. But it was very important from the very first day to kind of put down this rule that it's an open meeting, anybody can come in, and all the format of our meetings tends to be very kind of, I'll say what I think, and then, Rohit might say, well, I think that's not, thank you very much. And then Rohit might say, oh, I think that's a rubbish idea, or I wouldn't kind of say things, I would, And it's just all very open, and the great thing, what Chief Apple has resulted in, the local federation has resulted in, that where there was no contact between, or A and B didn't even know each other, they now know each other, they go out together just for a cup of tea, and incredible things happen just from that contact, and I think the big, sticking to a few, kind of, in an open, free-for-all environment, we still try and stick to a few things, so we will make sure we have a monthly meeting. We will make sure that we keep doing things that we all need to do from the trainings, because people say, right, we need some information on, so
How many organizations are represented?
there's 10.
Any individuals?
Yeah, we're open to individuals. We're open to absolutely anybody who wants to have panels. And this is one of the fantastic things that I'd like to share just now. 2 people who are individuals who joined JCAP, who just says, we just need dogs in our area. It's like, oh, fantastic, come to our meetings. And they said to us that they felt so inspired by the trust and fairness and openness and just the general fellowship, and in the local federation, that they were considering starting another organization, and that is just so brilliant, because they said, oh, we don't trust NGOs, they fight so much, so they never get on, there's so much politics. And then they were like, you're all so inspiring, and we're all the same as we're all in this room. But in all our own cities, there's always this kind of,
So you say you welcome everybody?
Absolutely, absolutely. Even if there's bad blood, and there's bad blood everywhere, even if there's bad blood, we would still just kind of say,
But then
let go.
the bad blood still comes up.
Yes, of course it does. It does.
Respect.
Yeah, no, of course it does. I mean, and I think we can all be troublemakers. I think that's what we constantly try to remind everybody. I think no city. Sorry, what was your name? No city is free of that. No city in the world, in my experience, is free of that politics. And the how is hard to describe. It's not a single problem. I mean, we get asked all the time, how did you do it in Jaipur? How does it work? And the how is literally, you just be honest. You just be truthful and fair. You don't be mean to people. You just be nice. And that's literally our formula. You just be nice to people. And we all make such great friends. There is such a great friendship. I mean, Claire came to this talk, and I think everybody who's visited the Jaipur Federation always kind of feels this warmth. And it's not like these people are any different from Bombay, and trust me, there was just as much politics in Jaipur when I got there. It's not.
I hear a lot of discuss. I hear.
Of course, I think it's
And
everywhere.
maybe it's more of a blown up out of promotion thing. Maybe when everybody gets together, it's really, it fizzles out and everything goes well.
Absolutely.
Have you read that?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we found that we were going to our agenda quite recently actually. And then it started actually slagging off on our members. We were like, oh, that organization, they don't do this. And that organization's representative wasn't even there at that point in time. But every other organization said, that's not fair. I mean, it's okay, yes, that's a problem with that organization. But there's so much other great stuff as well. Don't just ignore that, don't just kind of focus on the negative. And that's not something that the Apple has gone and said to all of these people. It's because we do that ourselves, I'm sure the Apple doesn't really do all things. But there's a lot of other good stuff. And that's like with every organization. Nobody's perfect. And I think that's what we acknowledge with the local federation. And we try and build that in our meetings, in our events, in our phone calls, if our phone ups normally I'd say, you know, how's your child, and how's your, you know, and it's this general kind of feeling of, you know, and that really is the formula. There is no, you know, yes, structure will help, yes, we hold regular meeting, we have subcommittees, I'm actually supposed to go through all that stuff. What we do is that in Jaipur we have split up all the issues. So we have said we're going to focus on the macro issues, which is the real trust to the federation. So we try and focus on what nobody can do alone. You know? So there's lots of stuff that, so for pet shops, for example, no single organization, and we can have this up which is a massive, giant issue. Even if it's up, I can't take it on its own. No single organization can. Everybody has got to collaborate in a city to end this pet shop issue. And we do, you know, we do it. That's why we are so far ahead in the game in the pet shop, for the pet shop campaign. You know, apart from Chandigarh, which actually has a governing order in place, we're doing the most work in the entire country against pet shops and breeding. And we've identified other such campaigns. We're helping issue in Jaisalmer, where, as you all know, beyond Jaipur and Udaipur and that day, there's no other activity in Rajasthan. But we're actually out there, despite being hundreds and hundreds of kilometers away. We're there trying to support cattle dying of botulism in Jaisalmer. And all this happens because we said, like, these are going to be our main priorities. But additionally, we also don't lose touch with on the ground. You know, we do waterborne projects, and we put up bird feeders, and we do, you know, we do all sorts of kind of little stuff that, you know, makes us all feel kind of warm and happy about it. And both the things are important, and both the things have their place in the local federation. And both the things have their space. Obviously, the fact that we have a website, you know, there's a common dissemination point. There's a lot of admin support that the Apple gives, and facilitation to Jaipur that helps a lot as well. This is obviously just what I was talking about. These are the kind of principles that we are based on. You know, and I think being coming together is one of the. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry, you didn't see that slide. Sorry.
You said something about pet shops. Since, of course, just return to India. What exact harm are they causing these pet shops? Because I just gathered from your talk that there is something, what exactly is it?
Sorry, let's get away with this workshop now. Everybody else will excuse me for that. Pet shops, essentially the issue with pet shops is that it's violation of animal rights, you know. So we, you know, I can't think of everybody, but I'm sure most people would agree with who are attending this conference that breeding an animal for us so that I have a little dog as a pet is not fair. It's like saying, Father, would you have a baby so we can take it away?
Well, you're talking about the breeders.
Well, it's the same thing. The pet shop is the outlet. It's the symptom
Oh, I
of a larger
thought
issue.
you're talking about where they say, where they
There is
sell
any
food.
animals.
No. But most pet shops would sell live animals as well. Most pet shops would sell. I mean, the food, pet food in itself is a massive, another animal exploitation industry. But the pet shops, the ones that we're talking about, and tackling the geographical ones that sell live animals. And that includes exotic birds. It's also all the birds. Sorry? Sold. And then the conditions of the shops.
There is no law against birds. Foreign birds. Exotic birds. They can keep.
Well, in itself, this is where Jaipur is really useful because I'm not the expert on exotic birds, but what about
There is a law on the citation. When you report about, you need to get permission. But if they are bred in India, then they can say it. But how we can catch them is you can't. There is a stipulation in the TCA when a cage has to be proper, it should be clean, there should be air passing through, there should be food and water available for the bird. And the way, according to the size of the bird, the cage size should be, which is never the case. Food, water, the temperature is never taken into consideration in any of the pet shops in India. Not about we know about Jaipur, but all I do check it on Jaipur. This is a problem in India. Everywhere.
Generally, we've seen that pet shops don't keep birds. There are specialized bird sellers, you know. Yeah.
Like puppy farms,
Yeah.
there are people who breed birds,
Yeah.
and those are also smaller than these.
Birds and rabbits in the same cages. People will have rabbits in rat cages, and they have birds. And very different.
Again, this racket is very
It's a racket.
difficult. It's a racket because we
Mafia
doing the
also.
same thing with what's it, puppy farms. We say dog farms, puppy mills. They keep small milk, 8 to 20 bitches, and they are just regularly littered. So we have such farms in Jaipur also, working on them. It's very difficult to get in there or do a video. We don't do it as an
Yeah,
innovative
it's
thing.
dangerous also.
Yeah.
But that's where I think that's the whole idea of the and what you're saying. I mean, obviously, I think to explain, my role in this presentation was obviously to try and explain how shape tackle works. And I think I've done a very good job of it. But every time I get asked this question, the only answer is just being nice, and I can't emphasize that enough. I know there's a lot of politics everywhere, and I know there's a lot of but that is really our, there's some main kind of, like I shared earlier, things that we need to do and so forth. But it's really important to kind of trust each other, what we're saying, and not to lose faith that, because we're all doing this together, and it's something that we constantly kind of keep reminding ourselves of. And it's incredible how much you can feed off each other in a positive way when you do. And if you go into a meeting without thinking, I don't think that person likes me or likes my organization. I think he said that too much about me to somebody else. You would build this culture of distrust within your city. You have to start within yourself. You have to refrain from, even if you don't like what she did to you, you have to refrain from saying that to him. And there's a general kind of positivity that comes out of it. I think I'm going to leave it at that, unless there's any questions people have about.
I just wanted to add, I think sometimes we can be in like our own bubble and forget that most people in our city who meet, whether it's animal aid or Raksha, like they don't know the difference between is this angel eyes, is this Raksha. They're just meaning, they're just talking about an animal issue. And so the more that we can all develop together, the more it's going to help animals. So, because the better that each and every one of us is, the more that person then is thinking, oh wow, what a great, if Raksha gets a great response, it's only going to improve the response that Angel Eyes gets, because their whole opinion of the animal protection is going to be that much more enhanced. So helping somebody else really is helping the whole yourself and everybody. So it's really good.
It's just parents who that organization that listening to
Maybe it would be helpful if you could talk to us about the kind of things you've done. That's what we're going to do now. So I'm just going to share quickly what the format of this next
I just have a question to ask. How can this yourself or individual activists, I mean, I'm from a place where there is not even a single NGO around. How a federation getting into something that
you would become an organization. And an organization and an individual is a very fine line, especially in an emerging animal protection sector like India. Abhishek is a one-man army in Jaipur. He doesn't have a massive backup. Because so many individuals who were driving things forward, and that's really where change happens. We get so many calls saying, I'm just one person in my city, what can I do? It's like, you are the contact in that city then. You're the one who's got to go out, hand leaflets, pull people in, create a group, get things going, I mean, what city are you from?
New Panvel. It's in Navi Mumbai.
Right. So you would be the one who would be the local, dog woman or animal person or how you keep talking about humanity, or you care about farm animals or animals with that or whatever. When you create a federation, federation is not a concept like limited to organizations. We are using this model in Jaipur because that is the predominant theme there. What we call individuals, it's all the same thing. The idea is that we all come together without thinking about our own agenda, which actually is common, we just kind of manage to split things off, and think about how we can work and share together. If you had 2 more people in your area, would it not help you?
To some extent, they did. I mean, it depends on their kind of commitment.
But does it not help you more than being on your own?
Not really.
No? Why not? What's the problem?
It's part of movement, no problem.
Nice.
Yeah,
There's, I mean, some cities are harder than others, I'll acknowledge that. It's not, some cities are harder. But, I think that the idea
I
is
would
that,
speak to you after the session.
yeah, so
I think, can I also respond to that? I mean, I'm an individual in Bangalore, and I felt very isolated, yeah. And I tried to connect with a few animal welfare organizations there, but their area of interest is perhaps not exactly the same as mine, right? But I've drawn upon FIACO, yeah, and it's facilitating those connections, whether it's FIACO or New Curtin sitting in New York. I've got ideas, and they sent me stuff to start something, And so I think it's a two-way process. One is if there are issues that we don't buy, which the other AWOs in the other parts of Bombay are unaware of, you can bring it to their attention as a watchdog, yeah, for the issue. And similarly, you can draw upon them to, give you ideas, learn about issues, regulations, etc., etc. I think, the kind of workshops that have been run in Delhi, for example, last year we had an annual legislation workshop. And I know many people who benefited from that. Some are just not aware of the basic rules. How do you get to enforce those rules? So I think it's a two-way process. You benefit and they benefit by you being part of that federation, collective.
Can I add a little tiny story, Anu? When I arrived this morning, my roommate, Vishal, he's also from Bombay, and he said to me, could he collaborate with us for information? So we're in Assam, and now Anu is saying there's nobody in Bombay to speak with. So Vishal and Anu, they're saying the same thing, and they're from the same city. So I think we definitely should get together.
But that's the whole point, just the read, again, just to add to what you were saying, FIACO as a concept works, again, because of the acceptance. I think acceptance is very important. You have to, I know you said earlier that, you didn't have the same attendance or something like that at AWS. I would disagree. I would say that you have to accept, that in all diversity, we're still, it's a massive debate about rights and welfare.
The same way.
Yeah, exactly. And the tactics might be different, but the animals are the same. And we've got to kind of, we really got to stop this kind of culture of mistrust in our movements and organizations. And it's just, absolutely. And I think we all intuitively know that. That is not new knowledge.
Why not give us all the email addresses of all who are here in the
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, just the one time of each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Almost everybody is there on FIACO.
No,
individually, even in the last FIACO, conference, I think email addresses were not exchanged. They only exchanged one-to-one. But absolutely, there's no coffee out. We'd love to,
Then we made a print out, gather everything and then distribute.
there's some issues around that, like privacy. I don't know the 200 people here who want their email addresses on a list, I might not still
know, I don't remember.
No, just having a database like,
you know, but
need
certainly,
organization that they belong to, and then
maybe we can
Maybe
pass
like
it
that.
around. Maybe what we can do later is say, at this period of this workshop, maybe, you know, would somebody here take charge of this action? Would somebody take responsibility of that?
And we'll go around and ask.
Or just pass the sheet around. But
But do we have access to a printer?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. I'll, you know, if somebody can give me a sheet, I'll print it.
I can do it.
Yeah, and we'll pass it
Three
around.
thousand.
Whoever wants to validate,
should have that information.
yeah, whoever wants to
Or
have it.
whoever wants to give email,
Okay, yeah.
phone number, not enough, if they don't.
Yeah, yeah.
But the important thing that is that whoever is on that list, we have to accept them in whatever view of animal protection, whatever agenda they have. It's not that, oh, I don't actually like that person on that list, so I am not going to be part of that club. Because this is just the one club, and it's very important to remember that. You know, we're not strong enough. When you think of the kind of entire meat or vivisection industry, we are helping them by saying, I am not going to go to that protest with that person because, you know,
Yeah.
I don't like, you know, it's, does everything know how to hide from this?
Yes.
You know, and like in the Life of Brian, there's a scene in which they're like kind of fighting about, you know, are we going to be called, I don't know, the something people's army or the army of people? And it's just so ridiculous, you know, it's like, you know, what are you fighting about? Am I animal people? Am I people for animals? Or am I, you know, who cares? You know? So anyway, I'm taking a bit of time up. The format of this is actually going to go and talk about all the different events that we've done, so you will actually be able to see how we put all these principles and despair and love and affection and happy each other into practice. We're then going to have 5-minute sessions with each of our members. So we've got 4 members of the local federation here. Health and suffering, victims, regulation for animals, liberation, Amshik Remainalize, and Rohit Russia. We're then going to open the floor and we're going to ask you to tell all these experts from Jaipur what are problems in your cities and how would the Jaipur Federation handle it? Because, you know, these guys have done it. They do it every day. They see all the infighting and the politics and they work together. So if you have issues, this is a good time to ask. So I'm going to ask Abhishek now to take over.
I think I would really want to thank Dr. Shikhi for an elaborate explanation as to how we've come about doing things as a group. So it is very important. Jaipur, as Rohit has already mentioned, Jaipur had 10 organizations working in different lines. Someone is doing snake rescue, someone is doing for cars, someone is doing awareness generation. So as they discussed, we need a common platform to come about. And we've done a lot of activities for that as well. So I'll be taking you through some of them. This is probably the activity which I first participated in as JSAP activity. Basically, we started in the summers. There is a dire need for water and food security for birds. So what we thought was that we should involve community and ourselves as well for a momentum that can get through, residential communities. So we selected one community for each member. For this project was taking at Deepa Ji, one of the individuals working with us. So we selected her community and we went there and we installed water boats there. So, and it was a very nice project in the sense that people started to participate in that. We went to each one south and we said that we want to place a water pool at your place. So everyone was interested. We took in support of the local president of the society and they were all eager to do that. So, so that way built momentum. We were 10 organizations. It was one of the biggest success because we covered a lot of places. 10 organizations had come on the same platform. They were all doing the same thing that we planned, and a lot of community participation over there. Then this was the second activity. There is TWSI, Tourism and Wildlife Society of India. Who's heading? Harshvardhan sir is heading TWSI, and there is a place called Jal Mahal in Jaipur, which is Tourism and Wildlife Society of India. So So Jalman is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. It's a must for everyone who goes to Jaipur, must visit the place. But what was happening was Jalman had become a center of controversy. People were saying that it was politicized and they've sold the place, and it was all down the drains. But these people, the Jalman people, have done a fantastic. On the contrary, these people have done a fantastic job. They've developed the place like nothing. So we got together as a group. We collected people and we organized visits to Jalman, so as to show them that what was really the story behind Jalman. Jalman is a very important place for conserving natural and biodiversity in Jaipur, because this is a place which has natural water body. It has a large lake and lot of birds and other animals live around the natural habitat. So it is a very important thing that is happening in Jaipur. Once Jalman is developed, there are a lot of trees around and hills around. So the natural environmental cycle moves ahead. Rains are more often, there is more greenery. It is a fantastic thing that has happened in Jaipur. So what we did, we gathered a momentum. I don't know if we really made a strong impact, but for us, we gathered people, gathered organization, make them visit Jalman and let them see that what is the real truth behind the thing. Yeah.
I would also like to add, apart from all the meetings and the work we discussed, we try to do one meeting in 2 months, wherein we just go have these are field visits to either wildlife areas wherein we tag our defense, have our defense together. They sound because we have people from all ages. But it gives a very good feeling of togetherness when we are going for a picnic, having our lunch together.
And the second thing that happens here is once you go to Jalman, then you have time to discuss important animal issues as well. If we are sitting in a group and sitting in a class, it becomes very boring. We go for school campaigns as well, for school awareness generation campaign. If we just keep on having lectures like this, no one will be interested. But if we take them to places like this, they are more than interested. Then we can convey our message better.
Like, you could have taken us to the beach.
We went in the morning and just out of the place. We just went in the morning for a walk. Such a beautiful place, Miramar Beach. You should all go before going. Full of dogs.
It's lovely, clean, golden sand. And you must, and if you don't visit the beach, you go on and go. It's just 10 minutes from here.
Rocky Varna is a plan that
It's close by bus.
This is the point that Rocky Varna is taking over. But I will explain how we did about it. Basically, as she told that there is a need for regulation for pet shops. There is incessant breeding, and there is a lot of cross-breeding, inbreeding happening. Dogs like Siberian Husky are coming to Jaipur now.
Nice.
So these things are happening in Jaipur. What we did was, as a group, we decided that in a meeting that these things need to be taken out. So a sub-committee was formed, and 2 NGOs and 2 individuals who were working for dogs had come together to take this up. What we found was basically very disturbing facts. Most of them did not clean the cages. This is one thing that I saw. It was small cage. 2 pups were kept inside. Their daily routine was to go in the cage, to play. I don't know if they play around or not, but they were made to stay in the cage for the entire day. And it was pathetic. There was no KCI certification with them, no lines, no dog lines were told, and they were sold by mere selling strategy. So this is a very nice dog, should take it up. And what we found shocking was, once we went to a pet shop and we asked that we could see the room, so he said, no, I can't let you see the room. And then he goes to the room and he picks, he holds 10 puppies at a time, picks and he places in front of her. And they were, I believe, 40-45 days old. They were all on the weaning. It was sad to see them. So most of them did not keep KCA certificates as well. The chances of inbreeding were very strong. So this we took over. Then the next important point was that we had to do something about them. So we went to the government, and few other organizations collaborated, and we went to JMC to draft pet shop rules. The process is going on, and we might as well come up with a good draft pet shop rule. Then dog rescues. This is another problem that Jaipur was, this is one of the second biggest problems actually. After cows, this is the second biggest problem. what was happening was there was a lot of dog menace around the city. It wasn't a menace, but people created and people said that way. So what we did was, whenever we get a cruelty call, let's say someone called us up from any part, we went together as a group and we started, we went to the community, we explained them that it was not because the dog was biting you out of anger. It was only because he was afraid. We went, there was a lot of problem initially, the people did not listen to us, they were very combative in their arguments, but we explained them, and with community support we were able to solve few problems for dogs. So these are rescues. I would really want to thank Elvin Safran. This is the only animal treatment organization that is there, and they take in every dog that we send them. They are very generous in that. Even if we call them at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, they really support with whatever.
It's a great thing that you have a support.
Yeah.
Where you can send your dogs and otherwise there would be
Very true. I personally have rescued 3-4 dogs, and this is the dog. Once I found it on the roadside, it was in bad state. I called up the CEO there. It was and they sent the cab in 10 to 15 minutes. That is the support that we are having from them. Also, we would like to share that whenever they have an event, let's say they were having a fundraising event, so we all came to a common platform. We all came together and it's like, we should help them out in whatever way we can. So we spread the word around the families, everyone else. It was a nice music concert that they had planned out. So we got people there as well. So it worked together well. And they gave us space for whatever, whenever we have our monthly meetings and other workshops as well. So it is just to say the effect of collaboration. These are the workshops. There was a need that we all train on certain issues, because we coming here has been really a good learning experience for me. I've been listening to macro opinions. I was brought into my own shell of working. This is the style I work with. But it's nice to listen to people's opinions who've been in the field for very long. So this is the same thing that we did it in Jaipur. We held workshops. This was media training workshop that we conducted for each organization. We were told that what are the different ways and via media you can approach the press, the electronic media, and how can you work effectively. So it was a nice session. Then shelter management. Claire and Erika both had come over, and it was nice to know how they were running their shelter, basically for fund generation as well. Improving organizational structure. So he had come, he'd come from US for that. Yeah, he'd come for the personal growth, but he still visited us and explained that how to run your organization effectively and how to run it in a professional manner. So these kind of things were only possible because we were there as a group and we wanted to know, we wanted to progress, we wanted to take things forward. Any questions about anything related to this? Okay.
Do you have any nominal or membership fees just for
For the workshop now?
no, as a member of the family?
We haven't kept any fees as such. We haven't kept any fees as
Just to add to that, there is no formal membership structure. That's the main point. That's one of the key things why and how we work. There is no concept of membership. The only prerequisite of being a member, and the only way you would lose your membership, I should probably put it this way, is if you're not attending the meetings, if you're not active. So we don't have, you have to kind of really believe in it to be in it. So that's, we can't put in words or on a form. It's just kind of mutual.
Did you charge for any of these workshops? Any nominal fee?
They're all free.
And your resource people did it pro bono?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most folk, when we
Okay.
ask them to, they do it.
And what about the venue and those kinds of parts?
We host at different members'
Offices.
See, it's not just local support, we got support from people outside who came for
Right.
the workshop. They also supported us, so people supported us from venue.
Right.
Claire here, she came for the fundraising workshop. Sudhir Rendagal for the second event. And Khushbu Gupta, who's doing media with for Olivia, she also came on the stage. So it's just like we wanted to be better advocates. That was the first way we said. So everyone was eager to help us out.
Depends also the momentum that the collective thing has gained. So if you have people showing interest, if you have people coming forward to these kind of things, we have regular things like these. And we had approximately 3 to 4 workshops and 3 to 4 workshops we had. 3 to 4 workshops, then we have 5 to 6 activities and regular meetings on a span of 6 months. People, it's all to say that once you allow people to express their views, once you allow people to have their say in whatever is happening in a group, then they come forward, they want to be a part of it. If you know,
Have you
if,
ever had any sort of fight in the meeting, clash, and have you ever
we do.
So how do you
See, we do not have fights. We do have
Clash opinion.
opinion always
Not
exists.
just
So what we do is when there is difference of opinion, the animal interest is taken into consideration. And whatever is best for the animal, it has to be accepted by all.
So the bottom line is best for the animal.
Yeah. And it should be justifiable. Suppose you have a difference of opinion, I would try to justify to the point that you agree.
That's the most important thing, and that is what we're doing. Initially, before taking up any activity, we come together and we sit and discuss. You know, if I have a point of view, the other has a point of view, and what is everyone's point of view as a collective. Then we formulate and then we do it. Even if the person is not feeling comfortable about it, we might as well say it in the meeting. So we just don't impose anything on people. It is out of their own will. Like I like doing things, so I volunteer. If I have to give write-outs and I have to go for a dog wall, I'll go myself because I love doing it. So there are people like Rohit, for instance, they are best at snake rescue. So I also learned snake rescues. There was no time in the house, and we collectively got to go. So it was a good learning for me as well.
So on the whole, you found a good response and a positive response.
See, if positive atmosphere is not there, you have to create it. Because we are here to remove the negativity. The main reason behind this is that. So when someone is wrong, we need to make it right by doing something good for him.
It's a simple thing that, you know, if all of us are together, I have learned a lot from it. I'm very honest about
The
it.
best part is the animals gain.
Yeah.
That's all.
Also for the individuals, you know, I want to go in for animal rescue, I want to bring in my organization, I've learned from them, and we come together, it's so convenient. If I have a dog call, I have other people with me. There was Saint Bernard, he was tied in a small cottage right in front of someone's house, and that house, I haven't seen a bigger and a better house in Jaipur. It was some 6,000 square yards pura koti. In a place, and he kept the Saint Bernard in a tin shade in May, and we were so very hyper about it. Not hyper, but very angry about it. We went and we discussed with the owner, you know, and he did not let us take the dog. He said, we can't let the dog there. You can't just play around with it. Got out of the dog, do whatever you have to. We exchanged the dog. And there was someone by the name Vicky that with us. She has 10 to 15 dogs. We have individuals who are so much in love with dogs. So she took the dog and gave her place. And she's keeping the dog.
We did nothing.
What to eat?
That's the collective force, see, because there's 10 organizations, you know, there's a committee.
I think on the wrong side of the law. So we do.
Yeah. And we were considered that we have someone who would keep the dog.
Huh.
That was very
That's
important.
also nice.
If I get a seat when I keep it on all the days, I already have 2 to 3 dogs.
Again, like on the first day I went to the owner, I spoke to him, this is wrong, this is bad. I told him, you have 3 days of grace and you have to do the follow-up. Whatever you do, you will take care of the dog, give him proper food, take him to a bed immediately.
Give him 3 days.
Grace. At least grace. Okay, fine. This is the first time I'm going. I'm warning him this is a bad shape. Okay, fine. Give him the follow. You see, if he says I want the dog back, I won't give it. Then you have to take the grace. So it's always better to solve things immediately. It should easily happen. I had to move to Delhi the other day. So I told him, Abhishek, this is the case. This is what I have done. Will you follow up from watch? Then I explained that the dog is wrong. So that is the benefit of collaborating or as a company.
Actually, there is a lot of collaboration by the we all got together as individuals. The individuals are collaborating a lot within themselves. As
You
basic.
will take the help of, say, of course, your collaboration. But when you put the dog out, you have to take the help of law enforcement.
No, the police was informed.
Yeah.
The police was informed. Because there is one person who's a traffic warden. So he was mainly on the police department. So a police department was informed of that locality, such a case happened. The owner has said, we convinced the owner and the owner said, okay, I don't want the dog, I'm fed up of him, take him away. So we took the dog away. Because a warning had already been given. He knew he's not going to take care of the dog.
If 10 organizations are there, someone would have contact with the law, police, other departments.
Even if 3 people are there, we went to rescue a beagle, he was being kept in the balcony, shut out, with the curtains drawn. He couldn't even see, poor thing inside. And beagles are such social, and whenever they used to open the curtain, he used to jump and try to see people. So somebody saw from the other balcony, and these 3 people went, I went with them, I tried to explain them. The mother and the son did not want the dog. The father wanted the dog, but he was traveling. But one of the girls said, I said, give them some notice, because we are going to look. But the girl with me said, no, I am going to take the dog. And he's very happy now. He's being adopted.
Also, it becomes fun. When you all are together, it's a lot of fun. And personally, I look forward to meeting everyone.
So there's less of stress, we are less concerned. I'm not there, he go, he's not there, we go. Earlier I was not able to take any 2 cases calls. But with Jaipur, we've taken over 8 calls this from 30th of March till now. I've never taken a 2 call, but now suppose there's a call in this area, in my area, I will get it. So that is the one we're dividing.
Small brief about the operational presence. Anyway, another foundation. We, as again, as a group, we were a group of 3 people in college. Manta, me, and Lerva. So initially we started Manta as a presence. This was her idea. So we are doing a lot in Delhi. We are doing EVD scams, paying, doing awareness education, prevention, and bird treatment. Our biggest thing is bird treatment. And from Jaipur. We did college together in Delhi. So, bird treatment. We have shelter, and particularly on 15th of August, there are a lot of kite flying cases happening. So, these are the few activities that we can do with Jaipur. This is awareness campaign. We had one campaign by the name of Honor Friends. It was 2 parts. First, we had a movie screening.
Can you increase the size of this thing? It's not on that slideshow. Put it on slideshow.
Movie screen. We recently had shown them a movie called Hachiko, and it was such a touching movie. I did not want students to cry, but most of them were.
Japanese Korean dog.
They showed it on TV also.
And it's a real life incident. It's not a it's a real life incident. So
There's a statue built on the same place till date. Every year
we have students coming from different schools. 5 to 6 schools contacted, and they have sent their industry students in the the movie was done, we showed them a small presentation. We basically doing a 10-pointer thing. First is basic 10 pointers as to what an individual can start up without much effort, time and energy, money. Feeding birds, keeping water in bowls, feeding dogs around, and helping any animal. If they can't help, we give them 10 important phone numbers. If they can call any time, we will be there to help. So, and then we take issues like plastic in Jaipur. It's a big problem in Jaipur. It's one of the biggest problems in Jaipur. 99% cows have plastic in the water. 99.
Yeah, just sort of video.
Yeah, it is very
I
sad.
think it's almost a universal phenomenon. It's
And the shocking part is Indian also.
I mean, of course, you don't see state laws and state laws there, but plastic is talking about plastic as such.
I was working with the shelter on pneumonia. The government run the shelter. They still have 2,000 houses. I looked. There was a time when the mortality was 150,000. 150,000. And these are not my facts. This is the government facts. And by seeing the condition of it, definitely it was there. Still, the mortality is 25 to 30,000 daily. And because all of them need plastic, there is no food, very little of it, and once it gets inside, it cannot come out. And by simply making people aware that do not chuck your food in polythene, keep the food in then keep it out.
Actually, too large scale of problem. I mean, for people have to get the municipality level to clean up. We have to involve them.
So plastic should be banned. That was
Have
all.
to be banned anyway.
Not that connected.
Enforcement should be
So I would like to invite someone here. One of our other members.
We were just thinking that only about 20 minutes left, so we're going to instead of going for the individual members, maybe we just open the floor and everybody could just maybe talk about their experiences and we could have a discussion about the issues that you faced and actual examples, not just kind of in a fuzzy way, but actual kind of I had a problem with issues in my city altogether. And how does the negative generation maybe do that? Ritu, Rohit, Sarma, again, I'm sure could answer any questions that you have. Should we do that? Would that work?
Yeah,
Would that
yeah.
be useful for people?
Is it, do we have 20 minutes or less? Because the next session
we
starts
started
at
about 15 minutes late, so we've actually only got about 10, 15 minutes here.
Well, my question is a bit of a negative one. If you think that another organisation is harming animals while they think they're trying to help them, well, they may be trying to help them, but you think that their help is actually harmful, then are you able to offer some redress for that?
I think plan of action would be decided first, as we always do. It would be first educating him why and how. We need to know his intention for doing the thing. If his intention is right, we try to know the thing in the right manner. If that's not possible, certainly we have to.
They do not encourage persons.
No, that's right. 10 years ago, I had a big issue with an NGO in Delhi, and then at this conference, that young man stood up, and he has an issue, and I spoke to him later, he's been through the same process as me, reporting them to AWBI and to their major sponsors like WISPA and RSPCA. But like me 10 years ago, it's just on deaf ears. In fact, he's not even had any answers. And I can't remember what the lady's name is who is representing on the stage. But as everyone saw, she belittled his effort by just saying, go and volunteer. Yeah. And when I spoke to him, he said, actually he has been volunteering, and now he's been banned from that organisation.
Yes.
And that's what happened to me 10 years ago as well. So even volunteering doesn't seem to go in.
But even a volunteer cannot just, because they themselves are not aware of the exact procedures. So how can a volunteer, even after volunteering, he can still not know the exact procedures or not be expert enough to intervene and say, you are wrong. So he has just to report it to somebody who is a...
Can I interrupt you? How do you decide if what an organization is doing wrong? Can you be specific?
I'm curious to know.
I can give specific examples in my case. With stacking up cages of overcrowded dogs so that the urine went from one to the other, putting fighting dogs into the same cages. They took them out, but somebody else wouldn't be realising that they were fighting, so they were put them back in, and there were deaths from fighting, and leaving puppies out in the winter to die instead of euthanizing it. That type of thing. It was a long, long string of things.
I would probably think that if there was an issue with a poorly run animal shelter, that's a very serious problem, because not just about hacking not working, but actual, you can hack it as a similar principle, but if you're seeing, and I know how frustrating it can get when you're seeing animals die in front of you, it's like, oh, that animal just died and it's because of bad management. One of the things that we have to accept is that there will always be poorly run shelters, there will always be campaigners, there will always be, people who just discount, sorry.
Oh, just want to add on to this, and this is a little bit controversial, but something that I have grown to feel pretty strongly about, is that I think it harms the general animal protection movement to have animal welfare groups making public campaigns against other groups.
Your idea of the collaboration is great, and maybe people who are an aberration, NGO, can learn a lot. You're operating on your own and you don't notice things perhaps. And they can, if they come into the group, you should try and draw them in and correct things within the families.
It's true that some of the, specifically to what you were saying, I know that in some really extreme cases you do have to ban people.
Sorry, can I add on to that? I just have an example to make about the health and suffering thing. That we have individual contributors also joining our Google JFACO chapter, wherein mostly they are females, and what they do is they feed, and they have adopted their locality dogs, and they feed them, they bathe them, everything that they do. They are not aware about the rules also. Let's suppose they are not technical people. Yeah, exactly. So they are not technical people, and what they did, one female did was, she didn't know about the ABC rules. That when to release a dog after spaying or whatever. So what she did was, she did not consult us as an organization or as a member, because when it comes to animals, we all get, hyper and emotional and things like that. So she directly wrote to one of the top officials sitting in Delhi. It's just an example that, this organization is doing this. And when we got to know about it, and then we called her and we discussed it with her, that see, these are the rules. We have some senior vets who are respected worldwide, and these are the days actually you can, release the dog after spaying and things like that. And then she got to know. So it's all about communication days, basically, the mutual understanding and the communication days.
Also, to add to what Vana was saying, that it isn't a cakewalk, that there have been endless number of mails, endless follow-ups, and personally, 3 to 4 of us, we make it a point that we speak with everyone else in the organization. It is not easy. We have to call them and keep in touch with them regularly. There are people who are at the verge of breaking away. There are people who want to do it but not really keenly into it. There are people they are keen people but don't have the potential. So you have to see accordingly. It is not easy. It's man management as well.
There will be people.
How many people are you managing this?
Sorry, I think that's probably, we wouldn't say put it like that. There's no manager for the federation.
Yeah, but I'm all 10 now.
Well, I mean, there's always, I think in every network, whether I don't know, federation or the responsibility.
No, let me add and let me thank all the, the Jaipur group, especially Varda, Manish and Arpan, to have a platform in Jaipur like this and can actually, we all can have meetings every month and discuss on individual issues. So they are being actually the coordinators, the managers and everything for us.
Coordinators, sharing responsibility. But this responsibility for actually doing the action, what the Apple does is that we just facilitate. So, my job would just be to get people together, to kind of, the administration of it, that's what I do. But the actual work to help animals is always done by the groups themselves, and I wouldn't, do that. And that responsibility is shared amongst members who are good in those areas. So, for instance, Alberta is a complete genius when it comes to public awareness. And, whenever we have to do it, it's so easy because then somebody else who's not a genius and that doesn't have to get his head, thinking, how should I do that? And that's where it really works, everybody shares it. And that's why we're so diverse, because we use everybody's strength to.
One specific question. How do you guys deal with people or a situation where, this happens in a Jaipur? For instance, there are several people who often will actually try to take credit for animal aid rescues. Like they'll maybe go to volunteer and then they'll take a photo and then they'll post it. And one time it's fine, 2 times it's no. It's it's something that makes you basically not like that person. But do you guys just try to ignore it, or would you try to confront about it in a group setting, or how would you guys deal with
I think we laugh about it.
We laugh about it and try to ignore it.
You see that, wasn't that funny, and then just shrug it off, because we all know each other. We all know.
But there's one problem, they can collect donations using
that is true. I think what she's saying is we initially laugh about it. We laugh a couple of times. If it is not working out, we'll come and make you explain that this is not possible. And the collective momentum and force that we have can probably tell you to keep it away, not in the
money is how do you keep a check on such how do you keep a check on such activities? I mean, somebody using the name and collecting funds. Has that never happened?
That has never happened.
This is all focusing on the negative.
Okay.
So what we do is that we don't focus on these things. If somebody is doing something bad, unless it's really harming animals, we wouldn't go out of our way to do something about it. If somebody's taking credit there, we would just let them take credit. So this has happened. There has been press releases and there has been all sorts of stuff saying, so we did this excellent activity, whereas it's all of us walking away and trying to get something done. But it's so
there is an awareness program we did, before I managed it. But one person here, we've taken him on board because he's got very good news. So when it came in the media next day, it was that person doing the event, we were volunteering. So we didn't take any action, he called us, he said sorry, by mistake. So that is okay. But then what intention we wanted to do the event for, that happened. We wanted to raise awareness that event was there in the article is there. Also our interest was that media
The important thing is to be aware of what the other person is. If we all know it, what the other person is up to, then probably we can keep our distance and we can tell people around.
He's done it once. Now we channelize things in the way that we utilize his contacts. See, things have to be done. If he's a master of something, learn from him and guide him in that particular direction. If he's weak somewhere, train him to be a better.
Something similar had happened with me, and there was one 20 case, and there was one lady, she was with me, so she just took up to, reporting it into the newspaper, and, she got, she did what she had wanted to, and when it came to filing the FIR, she completely backed off. She's like, we should settle the matter amicably, forget about the puppies, now they are dead. I said, no, this cannot be ignored. We have to file a FIR, otherwise those people are again going to get another leader that comes up.
So there are lots of issues like that. But again, I said, for the animal interest has to be taken into consideration.
Right.
We we all get our names in papers, we are really bothered about any publication.
Exactly.
Percentage benefit,
True, and
that the news should be published. Our main objective is it should be published.
Yes.
And gradually we have that atmosphere that a person does wrong, when he comes us, faces us, he sees us with a clear should over his face. Because he knows how positive we are, how positive we have an environment. We don't even want to discuss about the thing which are
Right.
super to all.
Right.
So automatically it gives a feeling of low.
And another
And we
thing
try to
about
do that way only कि भाई we have this what you say, old say, आपका पढ़ना रहता है तो काम हो जाता है better without saying. So we create that atmosphere only without saying if that happens.
Yeah, very important, I believe.
And gradually I've seen in the last, like from the time we started, the trust has grown. And now everything is decided, everything is, these are
You started to become more comfortable with each other.
Okay.
Initially you were thinking, oh, he'll use this thing if I'm doing that.
Yeah, there's always some suspicion. Just spoke about pet shop some time back, right? I have seen some of the vets, they keep a female dog with them and then they, breed and they sell the puppies. Is it right for the vets to do so?
see, breed and sell. Firstly, breed and sell, I am against it. It's not right. Breeding and sell dogs.
I have come across a lot of vets, they do
See,
that.
if he is doing it ethically, properly, if he is keeping a pet, an official with a regular, like once a year, or maybe once a year.
Because
Once in 2 years.
laws exist for breeding.
No, there's no laws.
I don't know much about breeding for the
There's no laws about
WPI is what, I mean,
There's the drafts, but there's no actual law for controlling breeding.
we should offer that because every second person is
And yeah, that's we're trying to kind of get local initiatives going to kind of do that. We're actually now out of time, so I think I'm going to have to thank all. I'm going to have to start questions. I'm going to have to thank all the fantastic Jaipur Federation.
Thank you for actually
Thanks to all of the
maturity and
And would you
And I just want to say that the friendship and support that you guys is just emanating from you is really inspirational. And I've never seen anything like it in India, and it really makes me want to go back and reach out to people who before maybe I wasn't.
Absolutely.
So great job, all of you. I know it's hard work to be friendly sometimes.
Yeah.
And it takes work to be nice, so it's very commendable.
Brilliant, thanks. The feedback forms that everybody's got, please do give feedback. Thank you.